Hello, my name is Aris Orseyo and today I'll explain what is impulse and momentum and the types of collision. Impulse and momentum are fundamental concepts in physics that describe the motion of objects. Firstly, momentum is a measure of the quantity of motion an object has. It is defined as the product of an object's mass and its velocity. Mathematically, it is expressed as P equal mv. Momentum is a vector quantity, meaning it has both magnitude and direction. It describes how much motion an object has and how difficult it is to stop that object. Second, impulse is related to the change in momentum of an object. It is defined as the product of the average force applied to an object and the time interval over which the force is applied. The impulse experienced by an object is equal to the change in its momentum. Mathematically, impulse is expressed as J equal Ft. This equation implies that applying a force over a certain period of time will change the momentum of an object. About collisions, collisions are interactions between two objects and that result in a force being applied over a short time period. They can be classified into two main types based on the conservation of kinetic energy. Here are the types of collisions. Firstly, elastic collision. In an elastic collision, both momentum and kinetic energy are conserved. Objects collide and then separate, potentially with no lasting deformation or generation of heat. For example, a collision between two billiard balls. They bounce off each other, maintaining their kinetic energy but possibly changing their individual velocities and directions. Second type of collision, which is inelastic collisions. An inelastic collision momentum is conserved but kinetic energy is not. Some of the kinetic energy is transformed into other forms of energy, such as heat, sound, or deformation energy. A perfectly inelastic collision is a special case where the colliding objects stick together after the collision, moving as a single combined mass. An example is a car crash, where the vehicles become entangled and move together after the impact. The key principles of these collisions can be summarized by the conservation laws. Momentum conservation law. For any type of collision, the total momentum of the system before the collision is equal to the total momentum of the system after the collision. Kinetic energy conservation. For elastic collisions, the total energy before the collision is equal to the total kinetic energy after the collision.